Hey folks, Flo here at Scaling Up. I'm here with Jim Lane of the Digest from the United States. Jim, what brings you to Scaling Up?
Came in search of feedstock, also to listen to what Canadians think should be the bold actions that we need to meet our net zero goals.
Okay. So one of the boldest things you said during your presentation, and you said quite a few, was that only biology can get us to zero. I assume you meant net zero. Can you expand on this?
Well, the future that governments have set are net zero targets, and wind and solar can get us to, on a carbon intensity scale where petroleum is 100 and we want to get to zero, wind and solar can get us to like 5, 4, 3, 6, somewhere in that range, but we need something carbon negative. Only biology can give us carbon negative, and that's the unique role of the bioeconomy and of biology. That's why Canada is a center of attention, because of all this wonderful biomass.
So the US already has a bioeconomy strategy, or at least the White House has issued an executive order on the bioeconomy. So as a result, how advanced is the US bioeconomy?
The US bioeconomy, of course, the traditional bioeconomy is very large as it is here. The advanced bioeconomy around the world is we've announced 30 billion gallons, or about 110 billion liters of capacity around the world. About 30% of that is in the United States. But that's of the advanced bioeconomy alone. So it's getting big and very fast.
And so what is the relationship between Canada and the US? Of course, you know, Canada often looks up to the US as a sort of a big brother figure, and that is probably true in the bioeconomy as well. Is there a particular trade relationship or any kind of strategic partnership?
Well, when it comes to feedstock and supply chain, Canada is the big brother in the room, and we all should be looking up north for supplies. However, Canada and the United States have both signed on to the Global Biofuels Alliance. We need more than fuels. We need chemicals and materials and advanced foods as well. So there's more work to be done, but that partnership is bound to help us to get those hardest to decarbonize sectors decarbonized. And that is, we heard about energy today. We also heard about aviation fuel. We haven't talked much about marine yet. That'll come up later in the week. Those are very hard to decarbonize, and that's where the bioeconomy, the forest, is going to be a big player. And as I said, Canada is the big brother in the room.
Well, that's nice to hear. Your co-panelist, Jamie Stephen, talked about the comparison between Canada and the EU in terms of emissions. So Canada supposedly has about 83% the amount of emissions that Europe has, which is a much larger economy in aggregate. What will it take for Canada to decarbonize? How crucial is it? You partially answered that already. And what opportunities does it create?
Well, we have to change the way we think about the forest. The way that we're protecting the forest isn't protecting the forest, and it's not protecting the planet. We've got to use the forest more and more responsibly. We heard this morning that Sweden does 7 times as much harvesting relative to its forest resources, and as a result has a fraction of the greenhouse gas profile. That's the kind of thinking that we need. So we need to learn if Canada is the big brother in the room on feedstock, perhaps Sweden is the big brother in the room on policy.
And what's the gesture you shared, and what does it mean?
Well, it goes like this, and that symbolizes the net zero economy. It's also the circular economy. It's a circle, and it also represents the planet that we have to protect. So it's a globe as well as a circle. It's a way for people to greet each other. So when you see somebody make the sign, that lets them know that you're committed to a net zero future, and you're not just going to stop at 5 or 10. You're going to go all the way to zero, which is what we need.
Thank you very much, Jim. We hope you come back to the US, and I'll just finish by doing this.